Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Breeze. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First target, first catch, and a first down. All the yards, completions, just another play that's a feather in the cap of the great career of Drew Brees.
And wasn't he supposed to be too small to be an effective quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Yeah, well, his footwork, I think, really sets him apart. Remember, he was a junior tennis champion. Beat Andy Roddick, the future U.S. Open champion, back when they were in the juniors. I think that footwork really helps him be the great quarterback he is now.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Running with Kamara. And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. Geno Atkins, the Pro Bowler, in there on the stop.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Ready? You ready?
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
And a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. No, check, Patriots.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Finley. To the right side, complete to Miller. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
We got three, fellas. We got
Operating from the gun. Finley. Throw left side, complete to Ross. 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. From the gun, Finley. Buying time to his left. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 52 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Bridgewater now on 2nd down. That's going to be caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged.
And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Saints get a bit closer. Lutz good on the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. Lutz now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. Pushing his way through.
In just about every special teams meeting, there's a discussion with the punter about his importance. Why? He can flip the field for your team defensively, move it deep into their own territory, or if you're backed up on offense, and he can hit a big punt and change field position and help his defense. In this case, though, field position got flipped by the return team. You can do it so many different ways on special teams.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Throwing on 1st down. Finley. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Operating from the gun. Finley. He's going to launch this thing way down. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A.J. Green, 58 yards. And the Bengals add on to their lead. And the lead will grow by one more. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the 4th. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's going to take this all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Bridgewater to throw it. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Cameron Meredith, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. Lutz now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. 31 yards there and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now a play fake here on first down. Steps away. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, two-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. Bridgewater now after the fumble recovery. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Drake Kirkpatrick. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Leopard! Leopard!
They begin with a run by Mixon, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw on second down. Finley going up top for Miller. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, they've done a good job on these receivers, pretty much held them in check. They're a little too close for comfort.
And you're always looking for a play to get you going, right? You're looking for someone to make one. But maybe this penalty, this pass interference call, that can help shake them loose.
Looking to throw. Finley, his throw incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. And now it's second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, listen, go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Being chased out left. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the play. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his second season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
From the red zone now, Bridgewater drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll make it second down. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Flushed out right. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal. From the gun, Bridgewater. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Bridgewater to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Lutz's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, that's one part of the equation. Puts him back within 1 score, but I'd be surprised if we don't see an onside kick coming up.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, partner. They've still got the 2 timeouts. But without that 3rd one, they can bleed a lot more clock on you. So how confident are you that the defense can hold them deep? I think you're exactly right. I'd line up and play for the onside kick here.
A very good starting field position from the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Looking deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. And the Saints signal for another timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Mixon with a 1st down carry. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. As they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. off the play fake. Finley. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit, being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Bullock out now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And it'll be an excellent return as he's all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
Here we go, gotta go.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like...
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
On first down, Finley. Going deep downfield for Ross. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Past the 20. Completion left side to Miller. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are on the field?
It's first and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Back to throw. Finley dancing to his left. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Cincinnati, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Saints, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.